Finest view in England, attempt 2. The place actually marked as it is along the ridge that way. Right. Up there and over that hill and down the far side of it, and along the ridge top quite a way farther to the top of Sutton Bank, where these two little bumps would be to your right rather than to your left. On top of that hill you'd be significantly higher than the top of Sutton Bank, so you should get a better view. And well, today you don't, really. See, from the finest view in England at the top of Sutton Bank, you don't actually get the finest view because you don't get a view up Swaledale. That way. You can see Swaledale from here, but I don't know whether the camera's going to get it. There is, just there is a faint bump, and across there is another. Then there's a darker line there. Whether the camera's going to be able to see them, I don't know. But all the way over there, well, we have this brown thing to the right, that's close quarters, and the greenish brown thing, still fairly close, that's the west side of Black Hambleton. Yes, I'm on the Hambleton Hills. This thing is the Cleveland Way, this very exciting track of pale rock and dust. And we've got a forested hill, and above the forested hill is a very faint blue-grey smudge, which is actually the hills on the north side of Swaledale, very edge of Yorkshire. Somewhere up there, I think it's about 60 kilometres up there, is the Tan Hill Inn, the highest pub in Britain. We'd have to go all the way up Swaledale, which is, let me just pan this camera across, about there, as far as Grinton, take a right turn up Arkengarthdale and follow that road all the way up to the top. You can see some of the fields in the low part on this side, but I don't think you can see all the way up into the dale properly on this camera. It's a shame. But if you follow that road up Arkengarthdale, you get to the Tan Hill Inn, and you can see north across that bit that's not Yorkshire. Therefore, it's too far north to be Yorkshire, so it's far too far north to be England, but it's not quite Scotland yet. You can see northeast to Newcastle upon Tyne and Middlesbrough. You can see northwest into the, I guess, the southernmost part of Scotland. And of course, you can look out across the Yorkshire Dales, which are laid out for nobody to see without fancy infrared vision, south of there. South side of Swaledale, you have some hills. Also a firing range up there. And should I remember its name? It's a very big barracks, big infantry base. Part of why there's a firing range there. Somewhere up there is a horizon, you know. Go, out of focus. Little golden bits are fields in the Vale of York. The grey stuff up there is clouds, and somewhere in between are hills. Somewhere in the hills, on the... there's a lot of hills. South of Swaledale, we are still south side of Swaledale and north of Wensleydale here. Somewhere in those hills is Apedale. Nice and quiet, there's only one house in it, which eventually empties out into Wensleydale. Zoom out so you can get the idea of the width there. Swaledale is up there, and Wensleydale is there. Apedale is up there, comes out just this side of Castle Bolton, somewhere on the right. As far as you would be able to see up that on a really clear day is approximately Aysgarth, where the river drops quite a bit over 5 waterfalls, but only the middle 3 are really interesting. stuffed fair. Just the bottom one's not as spectacular and the top one's not accessible. From Upper Wensleydale, which is out of sight, to Lower Wensleydale, which is coming this way. From somewhere there, coming down this way, with Leyburn on your right, and Middleham on your left, and eventually comes out into the Vale of York and runs down there. The bump, I don't know if you can see it, I honestly don't know whether you can see anything. How to reference this. We've got big yellow field, L shape of green fields. Straight up from the tail of that L, there-ish, there is a pale bump. The far side of that is Raydale, the near side is Bishopdale. Left of it, above there, is a slightly more visible one because it's closer, with a distinct sharp right end, which is the north edge. Can you see it here? Somewhere under the rain cloud, Wensleydale. I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but somewhere there is a hill with a distinct right end, which is Height of Hazeley. In between that bump and Height of Hazeley is, in between that bump and Height of Hazeley is Bishopdale. There you got the street head in is up there, nice enough place. There's another valley which doesn't seem to have a name, which joins it partway down. They empty into Wensleydale. This side of Height of Hazeley, you have a little ridge coming out this way with Middleham on it. Coverdale goes up the near side of Height of Hazeley and over to Kettlewell in Wharfdale. Left of that there is a bump and the head. Left of that, oh yes, I can see them, I don't know whether you can, but there is a from that thing this way, there is a sort of fingernail shape of pale stuff way up there. So I hope I just pointed at the right thing. No, above that, no. I need a brighter screen or a hood or something. 2 marks and then that. Cannot match this pale screen with the bright light in my face to this grey view. Arg. But anyway, out there are the distinctive bumps on the horizon, which I think are on the screen this time, of Little Whernside and Great Whernside at the head of Nidderdale, and going over to the right of, get this right, Coverdale goes over to the right of Little Whernside. Cotterdale goes up towards them, and then you can climb out of Cotterdale and over to the left, well short of them, so somewhere there-ish, to drop down to Lofthouse in Nidderdale. And then Wharfdale, of course, goes south and then turns east, and between them, the far side of the hills, actually the far side of the left side of, zoom out a little so you can see what I'm doing. That one there is Great Whernside, that one is Little Whernside. Down the back of them is Wensleydale, is Wharfdale, Wharfdale, and across to the left is Mossdale, down that way. The name actually means Swampy Valley, and it is one. I do not recommend walking through it. The bottom end's nice enough to visit. If you come up the track from Coniston, you can see where the river disappears into the ground, into a cave system, but coming over from Middlesmore in Nidderdale and walking down the valley, it's more like wading. And that disappears into the ground and re-emerges a set of springs which go down the next valley into, next set of little tiny side valleys, into Wharfdale. And somewhere out down here you've got Wharfdale and Nidderdale coming out to join the River Ure coming out of Wensleydale, which will be comes the River Ouse, somewhere out of sight down there, where Ouse Beck, or Water Stream, if you want the translation to modern English, runs into it. So one enhanced finest view in England, just without the ideal weather for it. And this time I remembered to get Coverdale and Cotterdale the right way round. Yay me! Turning the other way into this howling wind, which is probably ruining the audio, we have this. The hell was that noise? The blazes? We have this very exciting Cleveland Way, just this dusty track. Out of sight down there is Rosedale, not Rosedale, Rydale or Reval, if you're going for the old name. I think it's probably pronounced Rydale now, because it's spelt like rye, as in rye bread or whiskey and rye. Running sort of down there and that way and out. Beyond it, one whose name I can't remember, and then Rosedale, as in Rosedale Abbey, Bell End, Low Bell End, Cockheads, you know, all those places. And eventually, I think somewhere out there, probably, Robin Hood's Bay. And up there, going that way, is Eskdale, leading out to Whitby on the coast. I'm not planning to ride that far today. I'm really not.